Good morning students and welcome to our YouTube channel Gnan Manjari Modern School. So in the previous lecture videos we have started the lesson number 1, crop production and management. Here the lesson number 1, crop production and management. Crop production and management. So in the very first video or first lecture we have seen its introduction, so in the introduction we have seen how the crop are produced and how it is managed. So this is the all thing in the lesson, that how the crop are produced and how it is cultivated or seeded in the soil, that in which season which crop is to be grown. So this is the management over the crop production. So in the introduction we have seen that for next we have seen was food for survival. So food for survival. So in this we have seen that food is essential for our life. Without food we can't get energy. So if we want to do any work with our body, then what we required? We required energy. And from where does the energy come? It comes from the food. And without food we can't survive. Means if we don't eat food for 1 day, 2 days, it's okay. But after few days, like 4 to 5 days, you can't live without food. Okay, we all know that without food we can't survive. Okay, so the next was food from the plants. Food from plants. So food from the plants means the food which we get from the plant. Okay students, the food we get from the plants means we get fruits, vegetables, and from the different parts of the plants we get the different foods. Like let's see that. So here we all know that the different types of food are obtained from the different parts of the plant, like sweet potato and all the things. Potato, it's from the root and all the thing other. But in the food from the plants, it is mainly divided into two: kharif crop and rabi crop. I have told in this the previous lectures is that here from kharif crop and rabi crop. So I have in the previous video I have also told that the kharif crop is cultivated in summer season, rabi crops are cultivated in winter season, and these are the seasons in which the kharif crop and rabi crop are cultivated, and I have also written the difference between them in the board in previous lectures or previous videos. Okay, so from the food from the plants we have seen this main kharif crop and rabi crop. So next what was we have seen? So let me revise this. Kharif crop, this is grown in summer season. This is rabi crops are grown in winter season. Kharif crops usually planted in June and ripen in October, means these are planted in June and ripen or ready to use in October, and rabi crops are planted in November and ripen in April. So rabi crops are cultivated or planted in November and ripen in or ready to used in April. And for the examples of kharif crop is rice, maize, cotton, etc. And the examples of rabi crops are wheat, barley, pea and gram, etc. So this is the main points of kharif crop and rabi crop. So next what we have seen was agriculture practices. In the agriculture practices, the practices we all know. First of all, what is agriculture practices? There is a definition in your textbook. Let me read that. See here. Farmer follows a stepwise process and a series of activities to grow crops over a period of time. These activities together known as agriculture practices. So, what is agriculture practices? So, first, we all know that first of all, the farmer prepared the soil, and then in the preparation of soil we have seen that first of all is ploughed. It is ploughed and then it is leveled. So in the agriculture practices we have seen that all the things which it is used to grow our crop and the farmer does all the activities is known as agriculture activities. So in this, first we have seen was soil preparation. So in this soil preparation, first of all it is ploughed, then leveled, and then it is fertilized. For ploughing, it is used a ploughshare or a tool, and which is attached with the tractor. In leveling, it is also the tool is used and attached with the tractor. For the fertilizers, the fertilizers are added for which if we are growing a crop and there is not enough nutrition in the soil to grow that crop, and the external nutritions are added, these are known as the fertilizers. In the fertilizers, the nutritions one or more nutritions are added in the soil. So next we have seen was selection and sowing of seeds. Selection and sowing of seeds. So in this, first the farmer selects the seed and then after it is sowed, and there are two methods of the sowing of the seed. First it is manual, and seeds are sowed using a tool which is known as the seed drill. Here is the picture in your textbook on the page number 13. See here manual sowing and seed sowing using a seed drill. These both pictures are given. So next we have seen was activity, that how the healthy seeds and unhealthy seeds are separated. Okay, we have seen that activity. Now the next point we have seen was watering of the crops. Watering of the crops. So in the watering of the crops there are many methods. First the main two methods were traditional methods and modern method. In the traditional method there are canal irrigation and furrow irrigations, and in the modern method sprinkler irrigation, drip irrigations. Okay, so there is also given here in modern method that which method is used when and in which areas. So sprinkler method, irrigation method is used having uneven land and sandy soil. So it is used in uneven, where there is uneven land and it is sandy soil. And deep irrigation method, it is used where there is a shortage of water, there the deep irrigation is used. Okay, so next here is the figure in the page number 14 and 15 of the traditional methods and modern methods. And here is also water lodging in a field, means if we water more the crops will not be planted, or it harms, the excess of water harms the crops. So next we have seen, now next up to this we have seen this chapter. Now we will start with our new topic, that is weeding and crop production. So the next topic is weeding and crop protection. So in this we will see how the crops are weeded and how the crops are protected. So in your textbook look at the figure in the page number 16. Manual weeding means the crops are weeded. See, let me read that. Can you hear from the first paragraph? Can you see other plants have grown in maize field? What are the farmers on the field pulling out? Means the unextra plant which are grown in the field are taken out. Okay, so sometimes undesirable plants called weeds grow along with the crop. It is important to remove these weeds, otherwise they can harm the main crop. But when you have planted any of the crop and when it start, first of all what we will do is, first of all soil preparation. Okay, in soil preparation first the ploughing is done, then leveling, and then added fertilizers, and then watering of crops is done. In the watering of crops there are two methods, traditional method and modern methods. So in this, when crop is grown at some height, behind the crop. Let me draw a figure over here. So this is our main crop. Let's see that. So this is one our main crop and this is soil. Suppose we have cultivated this. First of all, what we have to do? Soil preparation. We have ploughed the soil and then leveled. So here is the perfect level, means leveling is done, and then we have to add the fertilizers. Okay, then we have to water the crops, and then when it is grown and behind or at some distance the extra these plants are there. So if we don't remove this, then it harms our main plant. So the farmers used to remove this. This is known as weeding. So these weeds are removed from here. So our crop is not harmed. So this is the weeding. So here cholai, wild oat, grass and chenopodium are common examples of weeds. Means these are the examples. If we here grown a wheat crop and behind this there the weeds are grown, and there are the examples which weed can be grown, and we have to remove this. This process by which we remove weed is called weeding. Weeding can be done manually either by hand or by spraying special chemicals called weedicides. Means there are two methods of removing weeds. First of all, manually. We pull it out by the farmers is known as manual method, and the next method is, or another method is, it can be destroyed by the adding some chemicals, special chemicals that only harms the weeds but not harms the plants or crop which we have grown, only harms the weeds which is there. So manual weeding by hand is very time consuming, and sometimes the main crop can also get removed along with the weed. The tool used for weeding are made of iron and need to be prevented from rusting. Means there is a tool also from which we can pull it out the weeds, but sometimes the main crop is also comes out, and so this method is not used more, and we have to also take care that the tool which is formed by the iron is used for making that tool, in that the rusting is not there. If there is rusting, then it also harms our crop, main crop. So manual weeding is done by spraying special chemicals called weedicides. These chemicals destroy the weeds. Even though chemical weeding is faster, it can be dangerous and can cause health issues. Sometimes these chemicals also get absorbed inside the crop and causes poisoning. So here if we add chemicals to remove the weeds, it also harms the farmer which is spraying, and if the poison is given, if we spray it and the poison is also taken by the crops and the crops are also poisoned and it harms to our health. So this is the main thing. See here in yellow box in page number 16, have you ever seen the structure in agriculture fields where crops are growing? Do you know what is this structure called? Have you ever seen birds, insects, squirrel or rat harming crop? Why do you think farmers have this? Means we all have seen See here figure number 1.15, scarecrow is in the agriculture field. So a artificial human like structure is there in the field, but squirrel, bats, rats and some insects damage crops. Such animals that are harmful to crops are called pests. Means the animals which harms to crops are known as pests. Farmer used a scarecrow to scare away birds and the small animals. Sometimes even chemicals are sprayed to protect crops from pests. These chemicals are known as pesticides. Some traces of pesticides may remain in the crop and harm us. It is important to wash fruits and vegetables before consuming. These days a lot of organic food is available with a free from all the pesticides and weedicides. Means the animals or birds which harms to crop are known as pests, and there is a method in which a artificial human like structure is put it in between the field, so the other animals and the birds not come in the field. Okay students, but it is another method is adding chemicals, and this is known as pesticides. But after there is some percent of pesticides in the layer of the crop or any vegetables or the fruit. But if we wash the vegetable or fruit before taking or consuming in our food, we have to wash that food, then the pesticides are removed from it, and if it is there inside, then it also harms to our body. Okay, here the next one is harvesting. So the next topic is harvesting. So what is harvesting? There is a definition in your textbook. Let me read that. Once the crop is ripened, it needs to be gathered and stored at one place, and the process of cutting and gathering all the crops is known as harvesting. Means when the crops are ready or ripen, all the crops are gathered at one place, and the gathering of crops, and then it is cutted. So this process is known as harvesting. So let me write the definition over here. The process of cutting and gathering of crop is called harvesting. So here is the definition of harvesting. So what is harvesting? The process of cutting and gathering of crops is called harvesting. Means when we have cultivated or planted the crop, and then it is watered and the weeds are removed from it, and after the few months the crops are ripened, and then this is cutted and gathered at one place, and this process is known as harvesting. And there are some methods of harvesting. Let's see that. So here, after they are gathered, the grains have to be separated from the hunks. Farmers do so by the process of threshing and the winnowing. You have studied in detail about this in class 6. Threshing is the process by which the grains are separated from their hunks. Means there the crops which are in the branches like structure, this is are known as hunks. Okay, then it is separated, the crops are separated from it. This is done manually by beating the stalk of ripened grains on the surface in order to lose the grains, or it can be done with the help of a machine called thresher. There are two methods, manual method and this machine method. In the manual method, the crops are here beaten over the surface and all the grains are separated from this, and also there is a thresher in which this is separated. So a combined harvester can be used for both harvesting and threshing. Winnowing can be done manually or by using a winnowing machine. See here, both images are given of threshing machine and winnowing machine. So this is the two methods of harvesting the crop. So that's all for today or this video. Now it's time for your homework. Please note down your homework. So please write down your today's homework. Question 1. Name any three traditional and two Name any three traditional and two modern methods of irrigation. Question 2. What are pest Name any three. So, these two questions is for your homework. Please note down this and take its picture and put it in the group in between 8 to 9. So, this is your homework, and up till then, stay safe, stay home. Okay, bye students.